Get 6 months of unlimited access to local news for just $2 when you subscribe today. This price won't last long, so lock it in now at duluthnewstribune.com. That's duluthnewstribune.com for 6 months of local news for just $2. Hello Northlanders, it's Thursday, March 16th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. As the Environmental Protection Agency releases new guidance on limits for forever chemicals in drinking water, Minnesota lawmakers are once again advancing legislation placing new restrictions on the chemicals. Increasing evidence suggests they are harmful to humans and the environment. Bills moving through the legislature this year would ban PFAS from many consumer products, create a labeling requirement for products containing the chemicals, and ban their use in firefighting foams. There's also a proposal to ban the chemicals from children's products. The use of PFAS, a group of thousands of chemicals used for their non-stick and water-resistant properties, was pioneered by Minnesota-based 3M. They are used in a wide variety of products and are known as forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment and can accumulate in the tissue of living things. Over recent decades, peer-reviewed studies have shown that exposure to PFAS could be linked to a heightened risk of certain cancers, decreased fertility, high blood pressure in pregnant women, low birth weights, and hormonal interference. Minnesota has already banned the chemicals in food wrappers. The State Pollution Control Agency in 2021 warned that the chemicals had leaked from landfills across the state, creating unsafe levels of drinking water contamination in 41 counties. Minnesota lawmakers have considered expansions of the PFAS ban in the past. In 2022, bills that would have banned the chemicals from cosmetics, cookware, and ski wax got a hearing in the DFL-controlled House, but did not advance in the Senate, which was then under Republican control. A broad coalition of businesses and industry groups submitted a letter against the proposed restrictions, calling them overly broad and lacking scientific basis. Further, they expressed concerns about thousands of products suddenly being banned from sale and transport into Minnesota. The community gained a new local historic preservation landmark this week when the City Council unanimously agreed that a hillside residence should be the 30th property added to that list. The Queen Anne-style house, located at 230 East 4th Street, was once part of the upscale Ashtabula Heights neighborhood. Built in 1886, its original occupants were the family of Charles H. Arthur, one of the founders of a short-lived grain commission firm called Arthur Waters & Company, but they called the house home for only a brief while. With the construction of a streetcar line around the same time, many of the wealthy residents of the area moved eastward, and the economic makeup of the Central Hillside neighborhood began to change to much more of a working-class background. Many large single-family homes were either torn down or converted to multi-family dwellings. Such was the case with the Arthur House, which has operated as a rental since 1912. The home is now owned by Zach Skelton and Cameron Carlson, doing business as Aspen Glow Properties of St. George, Utah. The next step will be for the ownership to develop a preservation plan in conjunction with the Duluth Heritage Preservation Commission. A 6-year-old boy died Sunday after he fell through ice in Aitkin County. A Facebook post from the East Central School District identified the boy as first-grade student Owen Benjamin. The Aitkin County Sheriff's Office responded to the incident, reported at 1:36 p.m. in rural McGrath. According to the report, Benjamin was next to a dock on a small lake in an area normally used as an ice skating rink, but it was covered with snow. He was found and removed from the waist-deep water by a family member. Benjamin was found not breathing and CPR was started. Multiple agencies were dispatched to the location, and life-saving efforts were continued. Approximately 14 inches of fresh snow compounded response problems, and a snowmobile was needed to transport the boy to an ambulance waiting on a navigable road. Life-saving efforts were continued until after 4 p.m. when Benjamin was pronounced dead in the emergency room. The Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the cause of death was freshwater drowning. McGrath is southeast of Aitkin and east of Mille Lacs Lake. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Weather for the Duluth area today, a winter storm warning is in effect throughout the Northland, and we will be looking at snow and breezy conditions today, going into tonight and for Friday as well. Temperatures taking a drop from the mid-30s today down into the 20s for Friday and into the mid-20s again for Saturday, but snow moves out, partly cloudy and windy to start off the weekend. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Robert Pointer.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. Whether it's a look inside the Northern Rail Train Car Inn or an introduction to Duluth's musical roboticist, Robot Rickshaw, each episode celebrates the region's distinctive people, places, and history. You can find the latest episode of Northlandia at duluthnewstribune.news or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Alex DeRozier and Peter Passy, as well as Tim Spire of the Brainerd Dispatch. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.